Here we have the all-new 2023 Toyota Crown. This one is in the limited trim level in magnetic gray metallic. And then we have black perforated synthetic leather interior. The powertrain consists of a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder hybrid powertrain. And then that's mated to the continuously variable transmission. Gives us a net power output of 236 horsepower. Coming around to the front end here, we get those beautiful quad LED headlamps. And we have the LED daytime running lights. But a beautiful look there. And I love the design of the Crown. It looks kind of like an Avalon to me, but more futuristic. And we have these beautiful optional 21-inch wheels. And we get passive keyless entry on all 4 doors. And then over here we have our memory seat functions. You just hit set and then click the one you want to set. And then we have one-touch automatic up and down windows on all 4 doors. Rear window lock here, power door lock controls here, then power mirrors, pick a side and adjust. And then we have automatic power folding mirrors. And then you can fold them, blind spot monitors in those. So you can set it to auto, so when you unlock the car, they'll open. When you lock it, they'll close up. Pretty big bottle holder there. And then automatic high beam toggle there. And we also have our brightness for the gauge cluster. We can set the odometer, and then pop the trunk, open the gas cap. We'll open the hood for later. We have a manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. And then here we have our power driver seat with power lumbar support. But I'm curious about this rear seat room. I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So we're gonna go ahead and check that out. So quite impressive. Several inches between my kneecaps and the back of the seat here. Seat back pockets on both sides. Now I will say, with the panoramic roof, I have about 1 inch or so of headroom, but still I love how this is laid out, even the seats. And when I do move my head, I kind of have to scoot up a little bit. And the roof line, I don't know if you can tell from here, but it goes like that. So that's interesting, but. And then here, cup holders. 2 USB-C charge ports there, rear AC vents, and then grab handle. And I love how they did this hook. You probably hang 3 or 4 skinny hangers on there, or just one big one if you need to hang your shirts up. Let's go ahead and make our way towards the back. Fuel cap is there. And as we come around to the back here, we do get the LED tail lamps. But tons of trunk space here. Very impressed by the size here. And then we have the all-weather floor mat right in here. And then you can lift this up underneath if you ever need it. There's your spare tire. So it's nice we still get a spare in the Crown. Everybody's trying to go to tire inflator kits, but for those of you that like having that, there it is. But I'm actually feeling the rear end. I wasn't sure about it until I got up close and personal with it. And I actually like the dual pipes there. That could be interesting long term to see if somebody puts an aftermarket exhaust on it. But huge shout out to John Roberts Toyota for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below to it, as well as their full inventory in the description below. But that's how we fold the seats down. And then top tethers up there if you ever use them. And then for the bottom anchors, you just unhook this and then you can use that. But I like that you have the covers, so if you're not using it, you just put them away. And we do have heated rear seats, I forgot to mention that. But to the window sticker here, tons of standard features on this Limited. I love how it's spec'd out. Getting that 11 speaker JBL system, and then this advanced technology package is nice too, but especially being able to get those wheels. I love those. Honestly, I think they're worth the almost $3,000. Then of course you have a few other features as well, but stickers right at $50,602. And then here we have our front passenger seat, which is going to be power. And I love the design of the seat as well. I love how the bolsters come out there. You have that one line of that bronze stitching, super cool. Lockable glove compartment here. Interesting how they made that. And then that's bronze kind of goes throughout. But this really does look like, if a Crown were a car, this is what it would look like. So I find that interesting they did that. But there's that 2.5 liter hybrid powertrain. Engine hasn't cut on in a minute, so it's just humming at me. But let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So leather wrap steering wheel feels pretty good. Looks nice too, and we can heat that, and I'll show you where the button is for that in a moment. Now with this screen, we do have the navigation subscription, so it's not built in. And then we do have AM, FM, XM radio. And then you have the choice to use Apple Music or Amazon Music as well. And then you have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility too. You can pair your phone. Pretty easy to walk you through to connect your Bluetooth device. Just click that and then search for the devices, it'll find it. Just gonna scroll through all the settings here. I love the simplistic screen here, but it's pretty easy to use, but it also looks good as well. So we do have the 3-stage heated cooled seats for the driver, front passenger. We can pull that up here for the heated steering wheel. You can set it to auto. And then you have 2 modes as well. And then there are buttons down below here for that, as well as our dual zone automatic climate controls. So we can set that auto there, turn the fan speed down and turn that off, adjust fan speed. Again, that's how you could set that from the buttons. And then you can control the fan direction here. And then this button you can use to either only give the air to the front occupants, or you can just have it go regularly. So it'll cut those back vents off for you. So it's nice if the people in the back are getting cold, or if you just want all the airflow to yourself. And then those buttons for the heated cooled seats as well. Cut the whole system off. The defrosters are here. That's for the rear defrost as well as the heated mirrors. And then the front defrost, AC toggle, sync toggle. And then volume knob is here, which I like. And then you can click that for a mute. But can't say enough about that bronze going on there. It looks super nice. Settings, and then here if you want to look at your energy flow, which I like to have up pretty often so I can keep track of what's being used and how it's being used. You can pull up the engine and then the electric motor, battery, all that, and it'll show you what's being used to power the car or charge the battery, whatever. Now, backup cameras here. Guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. Then you have that 360 view to the left side. And down here we have our wireless charging pad. You just stick it back in there. And then you hit this button and you get that front camera. And then you can change your views and all that by either hitting the button, and then you have options over here to the side as well. Now for the shifter, it's pretty interesting. It reminds me of the Prius. So press P for park, and then you can go to reverse, tap over for neutral, pull down for drive, and then you can just pull down for that B mode, which is going to give you that max regen, and it kind of makes sure that you're taking care of the battery. And then for the drive modes, we have 3: Eco, Normal, Sport. And I love how the graphics change as you go through that. And then your EV mode is here. You have your automatic brake hold, traction control, electronic parking brake. Pull that up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. Then you have 2 USB-C charge ports here, cup holders, and then center console cubby space, removable trays here, USB-A port, and a 12-volt down there. And actually a pretty decent size, and I like how they made the actual compartment. And I love these lights too. They just look so good. Now, for the roof, it's actually just a fixed glass roof. So what you're gonna do is you can either close the sunshade or you can open it, but it is one touch, so I like having that. Now to the steering wheel here, the stalk here, blinker, headlamps, corners, auto, and then you can of course toggle your automatic high beams there in auto mode, and then regular high beams, you just turn those on and off there and flash that way. Now for the windshield wipers, you do have automatic wipers, so one time there, off, auto, low, high, and then you can adjust how sensitive the auto is to the precipitation there, and then pull up here for the front wiper fluid. Now to the actual steering wheel, we have a Bluetooth button here, back button. All this is for the digital gauge cluster here. And you can go through all of your settings, so on and so forth. And then volume controls here. And then you have your voice recognition control here. And then over here, you can use this mode button to go through your audio sources, and you can toggle your track list or radio station presets here. And then all of this is going to be for your Toyota Safety Sense 3.0. So we do get that adaptive cruise, lane centering, and then we can actually toggle the modes here, the gap adjust, and then I'll show you kind of what's new with the 3.0 system as we get out on the road for the test drive. We have our push button start there. And finally, here's our key fob. And next is time we go ahead and take this all new 2023 Toyota Crown out on the road for a test drive. So this car is actually pretty peppy. I wasn't expecting that. I just have it in normal mode, but I gave it some throttle and it was ready to go. So quite impressed. But with this Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, we do get the proactive driving assistance. So what that does is it's kind of like, I used to have a Model 3 Tesla, and basically when you come up to corners, it'll adjust your speed to keep, like most adaptive cruise controls, lane centering, all of that, if you get to a corner that's a little sharp, it'll just take you through it, and then most of the time it kind of panics and then will cut off. But this one kind of slows down for corners and things of that nature. So it's pretty neat. I'm gonna try to use it, but I never did trust that. It's one thing to have adaptive cruise and lane centering, but it's a whole nother thing for the car to take corners. That's just kind of crazy to me. But again, I'll try to test it out in this corner up here. But the lines are so faded, I don't even know if it'll pick it up. So we have it in cruise mode. Now I'm gonna set it to adaptive. And let's see what it does. But overall, the ride is pretty nice. It really does remind me, it's like a mix between an Avalon and a Camry to me. Drives like a Camry hybrid, but has the space and the overall, I think, looks of the Avalon. So let's see how it takes this corner. Okay, so pretty impressive. And it actually told me, hey, the lane tracing system is gonna be unavailable soon, so just keep that in mind. So pretty neat. Because it's actually hard for me to get these sensors to pick up, or the cameras, radar, all of that, to pick up the lines here. But this is the first time I've used this 3.0 system. I think it's the first car I've been in. But I'm in the, I think it's running on the hybrid mode now. I'm gonna see if it'll let me switch to EV mode. So it won't let me do that. It's mostly for low speed anyway. I was just curious. So I feel like there it adjusted the speed for the corner, but I haven't really gotten a super sharp corner to try it on yet. Let me try and speed up and see if it'll slow me down. But I love how quiet it is in the cabin. This is an impressive car a lot of people don't know about yet, because it is just like, it's not an EV, and Toyota really doesn't need to push their products, but this is so new, a lot of people still don't know that this is available. So it didn't slow down there. But again, I wouldn't really trust it for that anyway. But the system, okay, there it is. It started to slow down for this corner here just a little bit. So pretty nice. It'll probably do it for corners that, you know, the lines have to be pretty visible. The corner has to be pretty visible. But at least you know that it will do that. So I'm impressed by that. And the regenerative brake feel is pretty good. I think it's one of the best ones I felt in a Toyota, at least. But I was actually expecting there to be a little bit of a soft spot as it transitioned, but I didn't feel it at all. I'm gonna put it into the battery mode now. And then we have that regen maxed out. So as I come around this corner, it'll slow me down pretty hard. But let's put it into sport mode and see how it accelerates. So not giving it full power. And what's surprising is it doesn't scare me. A lot of hybrids and smaller engines, you try to put them on the interstate or to accelerate to merge into traffic on the interstate, and they kind of scare you because they sound like they're about to blow up. And this was not the case here. And I always forget, when you're in this B mode, you can't use the cruise control, because when you let off the gas pedal, it's supposed to just be worried about charging the battery. I'm gonna put it into the regular drive mode now, and then let's see how it drives down the interstate here, about 75. Turn the gap back a little bit. But as I always say, Toyota Safety Sense is one of the best driver assistance suites out there. The lane centering's great, or the lane tracing assist, excuse me, and the radar cruise control is pretty top notch. And then having this proactive driving assistance is just one more thing that makes it that much easier to drive. And of course, you're supposed to keep your hands on the wheel. But honestly, ride quality is pretty good. Just a tad bit of wind noise driving down here, but the wind's starting to pick up as this storm is moving in. But overall, this is an interesting option because it is about the price of an EV. So over $50,000, it's not cheap, specifically in this limited, but you have heated cooled seats, heated steering wheel, 11 speaker JBL sound system, the glass roof, the 3.0 safety sense. Just, it's decked out, it really is. I need to figure out what this button is right here. I don't know if that heats the windshield or what, but leave a comment below if you know what that is. I've never seen that. But overall, just a great driving car. And if you want to get 40 miles per gallon and still have something that's somewhat quick and also extremely comfortable, definitely a great option here. So again, in terms of what you get for the money, there's a lot here, but if you're wanting to stick with an EV, you can definitely find one around the same price point. It won't have as many features as this, but the Crown is definitely, I think, for a specific customer. But as more people start to transition to hybrid cars, you were paying 50 grand for an Avalon, so this Crown being able to get 42 miles per gallon, it's just a step towards the future, in my opinion. But a fantastic driving car, and it does look good as well. But this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2023 Toyota Crown Limited.